All right, all right, all right. It's Michael Jaco with Unleashing Intuition Secrets, and we have the newest shirt of the collection. Of course, we got the FAFO and the Spartan Angel with, trying to move my, oh, there it is, with the cross swords. All right, 100% cotton. And, you know, I know you guys like the shirts. The Bye Bye Baddie was one of the favorites of you guys. So how do you get it? You go to michaelkjaco.com and you look at the gear, MJ gear. And in there, you look at the shirts. And in the shirts, you got all these great stuff. 100% cotton. Very good for you. All right. All right. So President Trump is designating radical Islamists here in America. Now, we've already seen this happen in Texas. The governor there has basically, designated Muslim Brotherhood and CAIR, not CAIR, which is in my opinion, extremist Muslim group, from owning land and designating them a terrorist group. Basically, it's like, get the hell out of here, right? I can't believe they're here, right? So for most of my career, I was going after a Muslim terrorist. Radical Islamists, right? Most of my career. I cannot believe they are here in America, but this is what the Democrats have brought, right, under Joe Biden. We also saw over 300,000 children go missing here in America under Joe Biden, right? So this Democrat Party has gone radical. They have 6 Democrats that are calling for military members to basically disobey orders from the commander in chief. It is a radical Islam, radical Democrats, same, right? Ban them, ban them. And that doesn't mean all Democrats, guys. It doesn't mean all Muslims. It doesn't mean, all Republicans or independents, whatever. There's good people everywhere, but then there's radicals. And we have a lot of radicals in Congress right now, and they need to be cleaned out. So I would say just clean the slate and start over again. All of these Congress people, pretty much to a T, just get them out and restart it. And the ones that are good, when we have correct voting and no corruption within the voting system, if they're a good congressperson, they can be voted back in, or senator, or governor, or whatever. We need to clean America up, make America great again, and we need to get a lot of these baddies out of there. Bye bye baddies. So it's going to be tough, but I think we're ready to move on this. Remember Trump's first administration? Did Trump throw mass amounts of Democrats in jail or kill them? No. Did that happen during the stolen election under Biden? Yes. All right. We have radical Democrats, radical terrorists in America, right? And I'm not slinging mud at Democrats. Like I said, I grew up in a Democrat family. I love Democrats. I don't like radical ones, right? I do not like them. And what's that one? Dr. Seuss, I do not like them. Sam I am. That's it. My wife is big. I studied him. She studied him, right? Because he was basically, doing good stuff. So anyway, no, he wasn't. Or she says no, he wasn't. All right, whatever. I love Dr. Seuss, but maybe that's why I'm. Your children's mind. All right, thank you. Yep. So get her going. Kind of hard to shut her down. All right, so shirts, like I said, available. So I have to calm things down. So let's go over and look at shirts that are available, and that'll make things a little softer and like this. All right. So F around and find out. There you go. You can get them all kinds of colors. Like I said, only $28 for a cotton shirt. Now, my cotton shirts, I would say mine, but the Intuitive Warrior line, they last and last and last. I have some that I've had for like 4 or 5 years now, and they're still great. A little bit of fading, but that's kind of cool because, everything's like rough and, antique-y looking. But most of it is still as good as it was. Bye Bye Baddies. Of course, you got the Angel Wings. I love these. So there's Wakey, of course. A lot of these you guys have liked a lot, and you guys have been buying it up. So yeah, and there's Love Vibration hoodies. I'm not going to go into everything, but let's see. Maybe I'll go into a little bit. Men's collection. So the Love Vibration stuff. So you see a lot of F around and find out. You got hats and everything. So let's see. There's a Love Vibration stuff. Love vibes. Get your love vibes going on. And you guys are in LifeWave. We got LifeWave shirts in here. So we got it all. All right. So this workout gear you see in here, I've had this stuff for years. It's still high quality. I wear this stuff every day. So good stuff. All right. Show your colors. And whoa, look at that. It's like the sun is the man is like he's like, ooh. Let's get that to see. Wow. Wow. So all right. Let's jump into like a not very good subject, but one that needs to be brought up because it's suppressed. It's suppressed while these people are basically digging in, taking over, not just here in America, but all over the world. Muslim extremists, not so good. So the radical Muslim extremists, they don't care if you're Christian, Jew, or Muslim. They kill everybody. Literally, I fought these people all over the world, right? All over the world. Hunted them down, eliminated their leaders, part of eliminating their leaders. My old teams went in and got a lot of the terrorists overseas, guys. We made Afghanistan safe again, all right? We made it so safe. And then, of course, Joe Biden came in and screwed it up. And a bunch of Marines got killed at the Bagram airport where I used to fly in all the time and make Afghanistan safe again by going after terrorists. Then while I was in Pakistan, we kept up the work, and it was so incredible. My buddies at SEAL Team 6, I would run across them. They would tell me that if the American people knew how many of these radical Islamists that we're slaughtering, they would be stunned, and they would probably say, stop, right? But we didn't, all right? Because you didn't hear about it. We did the good work behind the scenes. All right, so the radical Muslims eliminated on a massive scale. But under Biden, they brought them into America, right? Brought them into America. So they have to be cleaned out. So Trump tells Just the News he will designate Muslim Brotherhood a terrorist organization. Now, this has already been done in a lot of countries. What's the holdup here in America? Well, the holdup was 4 years of Joe Biden's administration. Biden. That wasn't Biden. We know that. He was executed. So we have all of this Muslim extremists in America now. And there was like a video that was running around out there, came out like a couple of years ago, this extremist that came over the border and said, you're going to find out here in America. Yep, I think we are. All right, so this is the start, designating them as an extremist group. That way we can start to remove them, all right? If they show themselves, of course, they're going to go into hiding now. But if they show themselves, we can start to eliminate them. And I think that's already been done on a certain level, but now it's going to start to heat up. It's going to get ugly, all right? It's going to get ugly, guys, all right? Because these guys are going to resist. They've already probably started doing some things. I've heard that. Remember, there was like up in Michigan or something, one of those, I think it was Michigan, where they FBI thwarted a attack that was coming from Muslims against children during Halloween. That was going to be big, right? That was going to be big, and that was going to be the start. So evidently they hit them and they pushed back hard enough that they kind of like, put them on their heels, and they're probably regrouping. But this new thing that's coming from Trump, President Trump, is basically going to hit them again. All right. So he says it will be done in the strongest and most powerful terms, Trump said. Final documents are being drawn. The president's announcement came just days after Just the News published a long expose on the Muslim Brotherhood's activities and growing concerns inside the Trump administration. Trump has been considering the move since his first administration. The Muslim Brotherhood is an Islamist group founded nearly a century ago in Egypt, but with chapters, parties, and affiliated movements around the world. Republican Texas Governor Greg Abbott, one of the good things I've seen from Abbott. Good job, Greg. Right? At least you've done something right. Hiding behind that wheelchair there. Last week designated the MB, Muslim Brotherhood, and the Council on American Islamic Relations, CARE, as being foreign terrorist organizations and transnational criminal organizations. Because they're starting to notice, even up in Muslim Michigan, where you have that one Ilhan Omar, basically, I think that's is it Michigan? One of those states up there, but they are taking a lot of funds that are supposed to be meant for people that are displaced here to America because there's criminality or their lives are threatened. America is very generous and allows people to come here to America, but they have been abusing to the tune of tens, maybe even hundreds of millions of dollars, the people of Michigan, and sending their money overseas to terrorist groups. So these people that are supposedly getting funding by the taxpayers because they're displaced and they're, oh, poor me, they're getting money. That money is going right overseas, money laundered right overseas into terrorist organizations. So that's getting cracked down on. President Trump is cracking down on that. Ilhan Omar should absolutely, for marrying her brother to get to come here to America to get citizenship, and now in Congress, where she goes against everything that America stands for, she needs to go bye-bye, right? She needs to go back to Somalia. Republicans in the House and Senate, along with some Democrats, have been pushing the State Department to designate the Brotherhood as a foreign terrorist organization. Secretary of State Marco Rubio indicated in August that the designation of the MB as a foreign terrorist organization was in the works. So here we are, several months later. It's finally coming in. Things move slow through this Congress, guys, especially when they shut down and they don't do anything for 2 months. 8 weeks, these clowns did nothing. That's why I say they got to all go away. You look at Marjorie Taylor Greene. I just saw where she made upwards of $5 million a year, over $5 million, because she came in office. She was $750,000 to her name. Now she has $25 to $27 million money laundering. All right. So they all come into Congress, and those that work for certain groups evidently get real good stock options and real good tips, insider trading. I bet you a lot of these people in Congress, and probably her included, are part of some of this illegal activity that's going on. All right. And that's why they get such great money. All right. So I would say she needs to go away before she gets her 5 years in, so she can continue for the rest of her life, get basically a retirement from the U.S. from the U.S. government. All right. Go ahead and resign right now, Marjorie. All right. Don't wait until it's extremely, it's really going to suck a lot for America, because you're going to take one of those votes that we need for Republicans against these radical Democrats that are against America, like radical Islamists that are against everybody, every religion. They only believe in their radical ideals, and everybody should die. They should join them or they should die, right? So no one's going to join them from America. or from Europe or from wherever, right? Because it's radical. It's stupid. All right. So Muslim Brotherhood, of course, pushed back against the potential terrorism label during the first Trump administration, arguing in 2019 that we will remain steadfast in our work in accordance with our moderate bullshit and peaceful bullshit thinking in what we believe to be right. Because they're like Nazis. They're going to tell you whatever it is you want to believe, and it's like, oh, they're so good. And then they're going to infiltrate and then radicalize. All right. So anyway, the Muslim Brotherhood will remain stronger through God's grace and power than any decision. Allah is our objective. The Prophet is our leader. The Quran is our law. Jihad is our way, which is basically war against the infidel. Dying in the way of Allah is our highest hope. All right, so these are not good people, guys. I fought them, like I said, all over the world. Number of Middle Eastern countries have already taken action against the MB, Muslim Brotherhood, with Egypt, where they were founded and where they took over for a year, remember? With the help of Obama and Hillary Clinton, helped them get into power in Egypt, overthrow the government, and then the people like rose up and threw them out because they were so radical. So Jordan has also banned the group. Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, and Bahrain label them as a terrorist organization. So not a good group, guys. So it's gonna continue until these radicals get pushed out. So good on Greg Abbott in Texas, standing strong. Maybe that helps the Trump administration to move forward a little bit faster. So it's going to be tough going against these guys because they're already here in America. They've already set up. They're set up quite significantly in Texas, in Michigan. It's going to be hard to get them out, guys. But the radicals have to go. So again, I'm not against Muslims. I'm against these radicals. So it's got to happen. It's got to happen. Otherwise, our country will be taken over by them, right? And that's why they've been basically outlawed in a lot of countries in the Middle East. In the Middle East, they've outlawed them. Is it Minnesota? Thank you, Minnesota. So Minnesota is that where Ilhan Omar, oh, what a mess, is Rise and Stand. That's right. Kim in Wisconsin, because so Kim in Wisconsin, you would know. All right, so this is why we have to get these radicals out, guys, because they're going to start to kill Christians here in America, right? It's coming because they're doing it all over the world right now. Number of children abducted from Catholic school in Nigeria explodes to over 300. So I think it's 303. 50, I think, last night escaped. Male and female students aged 10 to 18 taken from St. Mary's School. Tactical squads work on rescue. We'll see how that works. Nigeria, I think, is compromised. And that's why President Trump has basically gone hard against them, and they push back. So this is what the Muslims do, guys. They have been killing Christians all over Africa. Gunmen abducted 303 children and 12 teachers in an attack on St. Mary's. Initial reports indicated that at least 52 had been kidnapped before the tally was increased to over 200, and then to its final count of 303. So it's no group has come forward to claim responsibility. It's radical Islam, guys. This is the thing that the Fox News and CNN and all these radical news organizations, right? We're just going to start to label them what they are, aren't putting out the truth on purpose. After the attack, the state government said that St. Mary's School reopened despite warnings and increased threats, right? So, yeah, it's threats. No, don't worry, we're good. So the attack on St. Mary's follows a similar incident earlier this week in which armed attackers kidnapped 25 girls from a boarding school in Nigeria's Kebbi state and killed at least one staffer. So what do you think is going to happen to those 25 girls? They're going to become these radical Muslims' wives, right? That's the way this rolls, guys. I've seen this for decades all over the world. On Tuesday, U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations, Mike Waltz, held an event highlighting the ongoing violence in Nigeria. During the event, Waltz called the killings of Christians in Nigeria genocide, wearing the mask of chaos. He was joined by rap superstar Nicki Minaj, who called for religious freedom for all. So outstanding. We want to see from people that are in the media, and from people that are in Hollywood, and for people that are in the music entertainment industry to come forward and help us overcome this radicalization and get these radicals out of our country and help promote the same thing in other countries. Right. So let's go a little bit deeper. So in Nigeria, we have Trump has told defense officials to begin preparing for military action in Nigeria, where he says Christianity faces an existential threat. I promise you, we are going to see an existential threat here in America, right? For Christians, it's coming. So we need to be really, really on the lookout. The villagers in northwestern Nigeria were setting in for church service when motorcycle riding gunmen invaded, shooting at random and seizing at least 62 people. Right. So this is going to continue. Now, I know that, like I just said, that there are people that are getting involved with this. We need to get more. So villagers are calling out. They said villagers say nearly every household has seen a relative, friend, or neighbor killed or abducted. It's part of the long-standing security crisis in Nigeria, placed now singled out by U.S. President Donald Trump. The killing of Christians by radical Islamists, right? So like I said, they don't distinguish between Christians, Jews, or even other Muslims. So unless they're radical Muslims, everybody dies, and they're killing everybody. I've seen this for decades overseas, right? I have fought against these radicals for decades, and it is here. They're here in America. So President Trump is singling them out, as is Greg Abbott, like we just talked about, for basically they need to leave. So one more thing, let me show you this real quick on this subject. Nicki Minaj praised for spotlighting Christian persecution in Nigeria. So I praise her as well. I think this is really good. Like I said, we need to have more people really step out on this subject and bring awareness to it, because we know that a lot of times most people don't look at the news. There's only a small fraction of people that actually watch the news and are informed. So if you have a great large audience, which are in the rap industry, Hollywood, and so forth, if they get involved positively, because we know that there's groups within Hollywood and the music industry which are not so good, right? And they're being exposed. So Nicki Minaj praised by spotlighting Christian persecution in Nigeria. Body count is just too high to ignore. So she's teaming up with the United Nations, Mike Waltz, and they're going to address persecution of Christians in Nigeria. It's not just Nigeria, guys. It's all over the world. And like I said, it is and will be coming to America, and I think very soon. All right. So you need to be aware. You need to be focused on it and start to look at this coming in the future. All right. So what we'd like to talk about right now, skin wisdom. All right. We have Dr. Habib here.
How are you?
Change the subject a little bit. Dr. Habib, thanks for coming on.
My pleasure.
Special right now in skin wisdom, and we don't want people to miss out on it. Let's tell us a little bit about it.
Sure. So, and a lot of your listeners have been really faithful customers of ours. So we're still running the BOGO 2025 promotion, where it's buy one get one free. Make sure you put 2 in the quantities there. That was a mistake we didn't tell you guys before. You got to put 2 in the quantity so you get it automatically deduct one of them for free. So don't worry about getting it. So put 2, 4, 6, 8, whatever you want to buy, and we'll enact the free portion of that as well. So it's BOGO 2025, and it's good through the end of November.
Awesome. BOGO 2025.
Yes,
now
sir.
we're in an area now where everything's cold. People get chapped and stuff. I use Skin Wisdom every day, actually several times a day. I spray it on my face and other areas where I have some stuff. I've had like warts on my body that I've had for I'd say decades, and they're gone.
That's great.
Dark spots, all kind of crazy stuff that I was getting. Getting older, you get all these skin problems. But it has been a major, help for me to like turn that around and make my skin look great again. So tell us a little about the Skin Wisdom for the winter.
Cold weather. Yeah, so that's a great question, and it's very timely, obviously. So we all know that when winter comes and the temperature drops, humidity drops, and you get a bunch of wind happening as well. And what that ends up happening is causing a barrier failure with your skin. The humidity pulls the moisture out, the wind causes damage to your skin, and you end up getting inflammation, cracking, redness, chapped lips, things of that sort because of all that, right? And that's all due to the moisture and the protection that your skin naturally has gets taken away from it in the cold weather. So what we're suggesting now is for anyone to continue with your normal moisturizing process, put on whatever you need, sunblock, moisturizer, and then just finish off with the Skin Wisdom being sprayed on it. And if you guys remember from the last time I was on, we talked about how it worked, and that's really our proprietary Atlanticone that's in there that forms a seal or a shield around your skin, not only protecting you from moisture being drawn out and the wind causing damage, but it also keeps all that moisturizer and SPF sunscreen in close contact with your skin where it gets absorbed and it has the most benefit to it.
Oh, fantastic. So again, the special is BOGO 2025.
Yep.
And we've had lots of people that have talked about it. We like to do shows, but we wanted you to come on. I appreciate you coming on because I don't want people to miss out on that special that ends at the end of November. So Absolutely. 2 for 1, guys. You don't want to miss out on this stuff. Great stocking stuffer. Good for yourself. You want to double down. I'm going to double down again. I got a bunch of it, but I'm going to do it again just before the end of the sale. So I have it, reaching into next year. So great way to, get this product.
Yeah, it's very exciting. And then I will hint that next time I come on, I'll probably be able to officially announce there's going to be a new product coming out, which will be a chapstick. We're in final stages of testing now. It's unbelievable. It's staying on the lips for much longer than the other ones we've tested. So I'm hopeful. Let's hope December, January we'll be able to announce that, and we'll obviously make that first priority to your listeners as well.
Ah, that's fantastic. Yeah, thank you. And another stocking stuffer. How about that? That's gonna be good.
Yeah.
All right, Dr. Habib, thanks so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you all.
All right, guys. So we know that we need that Skin Wisdom, right? Especially during these time frames. Like I said, I've had great success with it. So definitely want to jump in and take advantage of that special. Now, this extremism doesn't just go to the radical Islamist guys. We just had last night 9 people, mostly children, shot as holiday crowd turns violent in Chicago. All right, 1 dead, 1 child is dead. So I guess these, children, mostly children, some of them adults, came down. Gunfight started. Police were like helping people out. It was incredible. So this is during a holiday celebration. Now we know during these holiday celebrations, we have the radical types that aren't so, fond of Christianity, come out, and that's what we're seeing now. Now we've also seen the radical Democrats have brought in Luciferians to the White House to show them around. Right? Look it up. Yep, it's news. So it's really getting out of control. We need to clean the stuff up. In Chicago, we need the National Guard there. They're resisting the National Guard. Of course, you have some radicals that are there, and the mayor and the governor spot, radical Democrats. Right? We're just going to start to call them what they are, guys. Right? They're not Democrats. They're radical Democrats. So let's start to put the moniker on them that they deserve. All right. The radical Democrats are basically not allowing the cleanup of their cities, right, across America. So we're going to see, I believe, the Insurrection Act get activated pretty soon. We're seeing down in Venezuela, we're probably going to see the special forces start to make strikes here pretty soon. And from that point on, it's going to be cleanup time throughout South America and Central America, right? The radical, I don't know what we're going to call the Central and South Americans, the radical drug gangs, I guess. Drug gang, whoever it is radical. Now, a lot of fentanyl, of course, comes across the border. China, I guess, has worked with President Trump not to supply as much, or not at all. We'll see that in the future. The ingredients to make fentanyl down in Mexico, where a lot of it's made and then crosses the border, but it comes across from a lot of these places, and it's going to get cleaned up. So we know that in Colombia, I said that Colombia was like on our side, but I looked into that, and the Colombian president was very anti-Trump and said some very bad things, just like Mamdani, another radical, I guess a lot Islamist. I mean, let's call him what he is. He came to the White House. President Trump invited him to the White House. He's standing next to President Trump, and President Trump is saying he's going to be great for New York. He gets back to New York, and he calls President Trump a Nazi. New Yorkers, I don't know what you guys got to do, but you got to resist this guy getting in there. If he gets in there, I guess that's when all you guys are going to leave, because you haven't left yet. So like maybe you guys are like, in New York, you're like hoping against hope. This guy gets in there, you guys are toast. You guys are toast. New York will fall. Absolutely. And it's going to be tragic. It's going to be tragic. So you need to do something. So here we go. Here's the count. I'm just going to put it up for Chicago. So imagine the radical Islamist, these cartel gangs, and then you have these street thugs in a lot of these cities that have been given free rein from mayors, because if they have radical teenagers like this running around shooting each other up, then it gives cover for the cartels, guys. That's what this is all about. That's why they release people from jail that are like criminals. So it gives cover for their criminal operations, the mafia and so forth. So 13-year-old girl, gunshot wound to the leg. 14-year-old boy shot in the leg. 14-year-old boy with a graze to the stomach. 14-year-old girl shot to the right hip. 15-year-old boy with grazed wound to the left thigh. 16-year-old gunshot wound to the leg. 17-year-old grazed to the left thigh. And then it goes on to say, videos posted to social media showed officers treating victims on the sidewalk outside. This is a celebration a Christian celebration. Christmas celebration. And you have stuff like this. So the Luciferians, activating probably some of these kids and so forth. Videos posted, Walgreens at State and Randolph, while other officers knelt beside additional victims closer to the Chicago theater. Now one of the victims, a 14-year-old boy, was pronounced dead at Northwestern Memorial. Second victim, 18-year-old man. So you had 18, you're a man, had a gunshot wound to the leg and was taken to Northwestern in serious condition. Now they had to arrest unbelievable amounts of people. And we don't even know how many yet. There's so many that I haven't had time to count them all. But it said, so the initial shooting, that 300 juveniles were rioting in the loop, adding that multiple officers had been injured by attackers armed with mace and stun guns. Wow. He said at least one officer required hospitalization, multiple arrests as fights and disturbance erupted across the loop. Situation became so busy that the local police district's lockup reached capacity, forcing officers to transport adult arrestees to a neighboring station. As of early Saturday, police had not released an official number of arrests or charges. Now, you guys know that I'm an intuitive, and my wife is an intuitive. She goes, we were out at dinner last night, Crystal Bay Lobster and Steakhouse. It's where Marilyn Monroe and Frank Sinatra and all those guys used to hang out. So we went there. It's great food. So we went there. We're having a nice dinner. And my wife has never said anything like this before anywhere. And she was like, I saw this guy come in, and it popped into my mind that if he had a gun, that I would go for that exit. And I was kind of embarrassed because I didn't see that as a exit point in case, because I'm always watching exits, and entrances and so forth. I saw I was going for the kitchen because it was right across from where we were. The other door, if we had to hit the floor, we'd crawl to the exit. It was right out back. So I was like, oh, it's pretty good. So I'm like, I didn't say anything. I was like, wow, I'm thinking in my mind, that's pretty trippy. Now, she came up with that. Now, we're a couple hours behind Central Time. So it happened just before 10 o'clock, and she said that just around 8 o'clock. My lovely wife, she is tapped in. Wow. So, a lot of us have to be heads up on this going forward. My wife was even talking about where to put guns earlier. And I'm like, oh, I'm putting guns everywhere again, right? They're going to be in everywhere now. So, geez. So it's a crazy time, guys. Radicalization of all these different groups in a lot of these cities. Now, I'm in a very, very nice area, and but that doesn't mean anything. Now, where I would imagine the problems would come from in Reno. I remember I worked one time with the Reno sheriffs and so forth. I went to the jail and talked to some of the inmates. I had the Intuitive Warrior. I gave a bunch of Intuitive Warrior books out and talked about tapping into your intuition, being positive, all that kind of stuff. They're very thankful, but they are hardcore. They're like cowboys. They're not going to mess around. They're shit kickers in Reno. So I'm pretty happy about that. So I don't think there's going to be too much problem, but if it does become a problem, and they have a long way to come and through the snow. Now, speaking of the snow, we're supposed to get in the next few days, I think maybe after Thanksgiving, we're going to get a massive cold front that comes in. It's going to just blanket almost the entire U.S. with snow. I would think that would probably be the time where we would want to do the Venezuelan hit. So maybe after Thanksgiving, you might want to start looking at a hit, because all the radical Democrats that would want to come out and demonstrate, it's going to be super cold and there's going to be snow everywhere. Yeah. So I wonder if they call that in. I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see, guys. It doesn't mean it's going to happen then. It could happen before Thanksgiving. But my guess, they'll let the Thanksgiving holiday happen, and it's going to be after Thanksgiving, right? And the reason why is because it's going to be really cold, and the radical Democrats aren't going to come out and go stupid as much. And then the radical, criminal cartels, they're getting cleaned up like crazy. I see reports all the time. Bakersfield, California, they just a massive drug bust where they cleaned out like almost $1 billion organization. So imagine the time that law enforcement takes to do all this. Now, I can tell you from when I was in Pakistan, helping to find Osama bin Laden, and my old team, Red Squadron, came in and got him. They got a lot of information from that, and that stopped out a lot of radical Muslim attacks around the world. And there were a lot of people in very high levels of the political, religious, and also like kings and queens, right? So royalty, yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Royalty, they were very happy with the information that we got, and that was helpful to stop out a lot of stuff, guys. So that's why we want ICE and all these different groups to go in. Now, I just saw where in Virginia Beach, where I was as a Navy SEAL for a period of time, SEAL Team 6 and some other SEAL Team 4, before I got out of the Navy, there was a couple gentlemen that were, one of them was in the school system, vice principal, something crazy. They were planning on radical attacks against ICE and police. That's right. Remember, we talked about Virginia and how we needed a really good Republican governor, and they just got a radical in there. They even got somebody that had said they wanted to kill their competition and the competition's children, but he was elected anyway. Jones, I think his name is. What the hell is going on in Virginia? So you get criminals like that, radical Democrats in leadership positions, and they're going to they're giving top level coverage and top level, like, let's go, for the radicals. So that's what those 6 radical Democrats that said that, the military should not obey, orders from President Trump. Like, what orders? There's never been anything that he said in his first term or since that was unlawful. That's never happened before in history that I know of here in America. Those 6, I think, should be executed for treason. And I'm looking for them to be executed, period. All right. So radical Democrats, when you step over that line, radical Democrats, you're going to be executed. Right. And it's coming. So Insurrection Act, I believe, sometime after Thanksgiving, implemented when we go into Venezuela. There may be some strikes going into Mexico, maybe some strikes going into Colombia, and who knows where else. We're probably going to relieve some very radical leaderships, right? And then it's going to be one big happy family. At some point, we're probably going to go up in Canada and take care of business up there, right? So we'll have nice happy family up north as well. Am I calling for takedowns of these governments? No, but if you're a criminal, you need to stand justice. So if it's proven that there's criminal activities, which is very easy, I think, at this point to prove, and I'm sure they have a lot more information that they're holding back and will release soon, then they get removed, right? And that's going to happen for a lot of these places. All right, so for me, I have a bone to pick, right? As you guys know, my son recently died of an overdose. Just like a lot of people that are, have addictions, whether it's alcohol, drugs, whatever it is, sometimes you fall back. For my son, he'd fall off. We'd get him clean. He'd be good for a while. It looked like it was going good, and then he'd fall off again, right? I've had many friends over the years that went through addiction relief. A lot of them were alcoholics, unfortunately, in the SEAL teams and throughout the military. They would get help. They'd be good for a while, and they're around all of us drunks, unfortunately, and then they'd get back on it again. So it is something that happens. Now, why my son passed away is because of fentanyl. I remember talking to him one time, and I said, "Aren't you concerned about fentanyl?" He says, "Yeah." He said, "But I make sure that I get a little bit of it every time or sometimes so that I can build up a resistance to it." So he went through a very long process, a very long period of time where he was completely clean. And then, unfortunately, he fell off, and he got a very bad dose with a lot of fentanyl in it. So that's why he's gone. So yeah, I'm pretty motivated to see this bullshit stop, guys. And if we need to go in and start cleaning up, it needs to happen, because it's not just my son. The fentanyl crisis, people dying of fentanyl here in America, is on a level that like blows away all of the wars that we've had every year, right? So it's something that has to stop. We have to get behind it, get behind President Trump, get behind our military, and really start to clean this bullshit up, right? All right, so very frustrating, but it's going to continue. So now you guys know that I'm saying there's going to be a massive event at some point here in America. I think it's going to continue. We're going to continue to see, unfortunately, a lot of places basically get like massive earthquakes, tsunamis, and volcanic activity. Africa just had a super plume is awakening, erupts for the first time in 10,000 years. So we're seeing this all over the world. Volcanic activity on a level that's not been seen before, on the level that it's happening has not been seen before. So here's a little piece I'm going to share with you. We need to be aware of all of these different things. It's a minefield out there, but not if you're intuitive, right? So trying to help you guys stay informed.
Here, breaking news, there has just been a huge volcanic eruption in Ethiopia, specifically the Afar region. And this is quite striking because Africa typically doesn't get volcanic eruptions. And if it does, it occurs usually in the Congo. Though we do have the African super plume welling up underneath the eastern part of the continent, creating the East African Rift Valley. And well, this really isn't surprising because pressure has been building here for decades. We saw a lot of activity a little further south near Dauphin and Fontal volcanoes in the past few months, like 6 months ago, 12 months ago. There's a big magmatic dike intrusion. We had steam explosions, big earthquakes up to magnitude 6, showing that overall activity was increasing, though it may have been below the surface more so. Now we have it expressing. And this is the first volcanic eruption that has occurred from this volcano here, Haile Gubi, in more than 10,000 years. That is the first recorded volcanic eruption in recorded history, as far as we know. Here we see that ash plume rising up. There are 1.5 million people that live near these volcanic systems in and around the East African Rift Valley. So if this was to really evolve, this could become quite a serious situation. Though we're looking at geologic time here. So most of these volcanoes have low viscosity magma. They don't have these big explosive events. That's kind of what we had today. Here we also see it from more zoomed out satellite view. We see that ash cloud right there moving over.
All right, so I've been predicting that we would have, at this point, we would have already seen tsunami and volcanic activity and earthquake activity on a very significant level. The fact that it doesn't happen, like I've said in earlier broadcasts, I believe is because of 3I Atlas, right? I think there's a group that's out there that is helping us because of our evolution and consciousness. They would not help us otherwise. There's been many times throughout Earth's history where the Earth has risen to a point where it's either already evolved. I think we were evolved back during the Atlantean timeframes, but we were compromised. We had the Draco reptilians come in, the Anunnaki and so forth, that came in and compromised us, brought our consciousness down a couple notches to 3D, and now we're working our way back up. Now, many of us know that we're already working in 5D. So my intuition abilities, my remote viewing abilities, my wife's intuition, all of us are, or not all of us, but a lot of us are already working in 5D in a 3D environment, right? So it is a consciousness explosion. I've said for a couple of years now, we're in the consciousness renaissance, and it is beautiful to see a lot of you, making that transition or recognizing it within yourself. It's been there for a long time, and you're just awakening to it, letting it come forth. That's beautiful to see a lot of that from you. So in the future, we're going to have a lot of really good things happening. And because it's a transition, we're going to have some bad things happening, right? It's every time there is a massive transition, we'll see, like, stock market crash, the economy crash. That'll be dramatic for a lot of people, but not those of you that are in silver. Right? But for most people, because there's only like a 1 or 2%, if that, people that are invested in silver right now. Now, I think at some point it may go FOMO, and we'll see a lot of people really going into silver on a massive scale, and the price will explode upwards. I think that we're very close to that period. It could happen at any time. All right, so Laura Loomer takes credit for her arch enemy's resignation. And of course, that's MTG, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and I have to show it to you because it's very interesting. Loomered, all right. So Laura Loomered, that was just shortly after she talked about she was going to resign. And like I say, get out now, MTG, get out now. So Donald Trump, you're working with him. You're good. If you attack him, he's going to attack back. And he's going to attack back about 5 times stronger. And now he's like, well, maybe we could work together. But he's already destroyed her. She had no hope of being reelected. She knows that. And so she's going to do a total biatch move and resign when she gets to the point, because she came in December 3rd. So 2 days later, she's going to resign. So she gets her 5 years, and she's going to walk away with probably about $27 million from getting hooked up with insider trading. So I was in Sarasota, Florida. It's an area that is covered by Luna. Gosh, she's got such a crazy name. So Congresswoman Luna. So Paulina something. So she's amazing. I liked, of course, I voted for all the best people, so it was good. So she is doing some great stuff. She is putting forward a bill where they're going to do away with insider trading. All right. It's going to be good. Hopefully it happens. So, yeah, we're in a very beautiful area. Absolutely. And got a great view. It's great being around here. The environment, I need to be in an environment that's very conducive to my intuition. Right. So it's very amazing. Anna Paulina Luna. Thank you. Very good. She is a rock star. So thank you, Deborah. So it is going to be very interesting going forward. I hope that that goes through. If it doesn't go through, we know that these guys are trying to keep themselves in the money. And it's not about us. It's about the money, right? It's about the illegal stuff that they get paid for. It's about the legal stuff they get involved in, and they get pressured to, like, you know, vote certain way or get disclosed on. Yeah, you were at Jeffrey Epstein Island and you had all these things happen, blah, blah, blah. So, but Epstein Island's just one of the places, guys. You know, the New York place, I think that was for the bigwigs. Of course, he had a New Mexico place. I don't know. I think that was for the Catholic priest or something. And you think I'm joking, but the Catholic priest in New Mexico, not far from where Jeffrey Epstein had his little ranch, where he would videotape everything. The Catholic Church had a lot of very bad things having to do with children, right? Pedophiles. One of the biggest ones in America, in New Mexico, right? So it is very frustrating to see all this stuff. Now, one of the people that was very prominent for me in my awakening process, he has made some interesting predictions for the exact time frame we're in right now. All right. And in fact, starting next month, right, in December of this year and into January of next year, right? So let's look at some of his predictions. And he's not the only one. There's been a lot of other very prominent psychics that have said this time frame. I mean, we already know that, right? We don't need somebody to tell us that this is a very monumental time. But it is nice to get some, verification. It's like, yeah, we're on the right track. So here we go.
He did have a divine gift. These fulfilled prophecies gave weight to his more frightening ones, especially the ones he gave about natural disasters and the shifting of Earth's crust. He spoke of volcanoes erupting in unexpected places, of water flooding lands that had been dry for centuries, and of violent earthquakes that would change the face of America. For those who believed, every fulfilled prophecy was a reason to take his warnings more seriously, and none was more urgent or more terrifying than what he said about the fate of California. Among Edgar Cayce's many readings, there was one that remained hidden in the shadows for decades, a prophecy that many chose to ignore, perhaps out of fear. It wasn't about personal healing or global wars. This one was different. It was about destruction on a massive scale, a part of America vanishing beneath the sea. And the center of this terrifying vision was California. In one of his trance sessions, Cayce described a time when the earth would begin to break open in the West. He spoke of violent earthquakes and massive floods, of cities crumbling, and of the Pacific Ocean swallowing large parts of the land. The greater portion of California will go into the sea, he said. Not maybe, not possibly. He said it as a fact, as something already written in time. What makes this prophecy even more alarming is that he gave no specific date. He only said it would happen as part of a larger movement of the Earth, connected to changes in the magnetic fields, volcanoes awakening, and shifts deep beneath the oceans. He warned that these movements would begin quietly but grow quickly and violently. And when they did, it would be too late to run.
All right. So when I go to California, both me and my wife have felt this way for years, for a very long time, actually. We can't wait to get out of California. It's of course, we lived in California on the other side of this lake for several years. But we're way up in the mountains. And it is probably going to happen at some point. I think there's going to be some event that's very, very dramatic. It's going to cause, because that normally happens, during the Christmas time frame, because they don't like Christians. That's why Christians are being attacked all over the world. That's why Christians are going to be attacked here in America soon, all right? Violently. So it is, there's going to be violence unfortunately, even in the the land, and this is part of the change. So this eruption and violence is an awakening process. It's going to those that want the violence will get the violence. Those that are not tapped into intuition and higher source will be in danger going forward. Now, not everywhere, of course, but in a lot of places. And some people just they don't know that they're choosing to live somewhere that is going to be perfect for their survival. They don't know they're intuitive yet, yeah, because we know there are people like that. They just have. I used to be like that. I would have these random things happen. And I'd be like, oh, what a coincidence. Like, and then I got to the point where I started reading about, and you think you're having coincidences. Look back on, all the events, and you'll start to understand they weren't coincidences. You were tapping in. And I was like, oh, wow. And then you start to awaken. And then you're like, I like that. Thank you. Attitude of gratitude. Attitude of gratitude will bring you more. All right. So remember that. It's one of the things I teach in my courses, the intuitive courses. So being very calm, being very cool, being very collected, even in radical times, will help you. All right. So you guys know that I talk about silver and gold. There's going to be a big push, I think, coming very soon for silver. Let's look at a little bit of this. I can't show you too much because this is you have to pay for this, but I think it's very. Maybe I'm helping promote it. This is the bubble report. Dr. Kirk Elliott and I have talked about this quite a bit. You can see here where there's outperformances in the stock market and then outperformances in gold. So we've had an outperformance in the stock market, and we're going to have an outperformance in gold. The same thing with silver. Silver is actually going to rise percentage-wise much, much higher than gold is, all right? So just want to give you guys a little heads up on that. Percentage-wise, I think gold is going to move like in the $3,200 up to like $5,100 range, and silver is going to go up to around 72. This is going to happen within the next few months, I believe, or less. It could turn out to be a very violent upward trend. And I don't want to use violent. I keep saying violent, but it's going to be a very massive, right? A very vigorous movement to the upside. And it's going to catch a lot of people off balance, but not us, those of us that have been following this for some time. Those of you that have investing, if you haven't invested yet, come on, guys, you're going to get left behind. It's not too late. And even in the next run up to $72, it still won't be too late, because from there, it'll double, triple, quadruple, and I don't know, maybe even 10x even from there, guys, right? There's a lot of people, the bubble report guy is saying over $500. And he says it could go even higher. So bubble report guy is like hammering it. So very, very, you find him on X, punch in bubble report, and it'll pull them up. And if you want to subscribe, tell him Mike sent you. I don't get any money from it, but it'll be like, oh, cool. Some people are paying attention, and I want to help you guys out. If you want to go deeper with it, he's the guy. He was recommended to me by Dr. Kirk Elliott. I started following him because Dr. Kirk Elliott knows I'm a chart guy too. I do really good calls on the charts, and we'll see how that works out. All right. So, all right. What are your thoughts on XRP? I think XRP probably will double, maybe even triple from where it's at. Because I think the stock market is going to do because every time just before a crash, we have a last massive push in the stock market. I think we haven't seen that yet. I think this pullback that we've had, because I called for it, took a little while to unwind, but I think we've flushed out a lot of stuff, and now I believe, who knows, maybe it'll crash now. I don't think so, but it's going to crash. The stock market is going to crash. The housing market is going to crash. It's already crashing. Housing market's going to crash before, just like it did in 2008, before the stock market. So you'll probably see into the next year, housing prices collapse very aggressively downwards, right? So I've been warning you guys for a couple of years now to get out of the housing. If you're in a house and you're free and clear and you're happy in your house, you don't need to sell it. Of course, it's perfect. But those of you that have been investors, or those of you that bought your house and wanted to sell it for a profit, you might be too late by now. But if you can still get out with a profit and you're looking at selling your homes, it's getting very tight, guys, everywhere. And it's going to tighten up in every corner of America soon. Some places have really got hammered, Tampa, some places in Texas, California. So it's going to spread quite aggressively. Some areas will not be so much. Some will be very aggressive. So we saw aggressive downward prices in Nevada in the last downturn. We're starting to see those again. Saw very aggressive downward patterns in Florida. Starting to see. I think over 2 years ago, I was in a billionaire's condo on top of this beautiful high rise, and I'm like, they were telling me that things were going to start to turn very soon. And so I started sounding the alarm over 2 years ago. And they said they were having problems getting it. So the high end, we've seen, commercial real estate, collapsing on a massive scale. The residential housing collapse has already started. It's going to start to pick up pace faster and faster and faster and faster going downward. We'll see a last spike because money chases and pushes and tries to get the last little squeeze, the last little drop of profit, and it's going to be in the stock market like we've seen in 2008 and 1929. We're going to see a massive crash, unlike anything we've ever seen in America before, because the manipulation has been so extreme. And we're not only seeing a housing crash, we're going to see a bubble crash, an AI bubble crash, absolutely coming very soon. We almost saw it this last couple of weeks, where AI was like not so. Everybody's like dumping AI stocks bigly. Even Nvidia got hammered on Thursday massively after it reported great results. So stock market went up, and I was like, it's gonna crash because it like gapped up, and so I went heavy on the crash, and it happened. So I'm out of it. I'm in a position where I believe it's going to go up and away, and it's going to go so far up, and everybody's going to be like, we can all get in and make money, and that's when it's going to crash, right? And it will crash, and it will destroy so many lives. Because, like I said, only a small percentage of people are in silver, right? And or gold. So that's going to be very tragic for a lot of people. It always is, but it is something that has to happen to fix a very corrupt, very broken economic system. That if it were to continue, it would enslave us more than it already has. All right, guys. Lots of love. Stay in the love vibration, and for the baddies, let me see the light on that. FAFO. All right. You're gonna find out. All right, guys. See you next time.